Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about everything that I've read for the month of March. You guys, March was a month that I discovered reading. I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know what, I need to keep busy and I'm tired of binge watching YouTube. I'm tired of watching movies. It's kind of gotten repetitive. And then I saw Instagram Reels and I was like, all right, books it is. And right here I have a big old selection of what I actually read like towards the end of March, since that's when I started really getting into reading. And I want to go ahead and share that with you because I am now loving reading young adult fantasy romance books. If you have not read one of those genres, yeah, just read it and see how you like it. So anyway, let's get started with the first series that I actually read, which I actually just went and got straight in. I don't know what it was, but I think I was on Instagram and I think I saw Mouse Anonymous, and then also I can't remember her name, but they were talking about these books and I was like, you know what, I usually just read whatever anyone's reading. Usually when people are posting about a book, I just go ahead and buy it and read it. And this one really hooked me on, and it's actually like a big old series. And I was like, well then, I bought all of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you. And it seems to be one of the most popular ones right now, and it is the series of the Court of Roses and Thorns series. There are currently 5 books in the series, and they are about fae people, which are like fairies, and then mortal people, which are humans, and it's a separation between their lands. And one girl in particular has to come, or was brought into the fae world, and is now figuring out how to maneuver within that fae world. And there's all about courts and lords and stuff, and it's like very, very romantic. You see a lot about characters, and it got me hooked. Like, I was like, okay, I'm really loving the character here, and then I'm like, oh my god, I hate the character, I want this character. And then it's like, whoa, yeah, this is like kind of revenge. And then this is like a nice ode to like the readers. I sort of got like this tiny little book is like a nice ode to the reader, saying like, you know what, here's like something happy for you guys. And then this last book was about a character I've despised the entire series, and they wrote a big old chunk of it about her. And this was such a hard one to get through. Like, this puppy is thick. They're all pretty thick, except for that one. This one's like the tiniest one of all of them, which this is like the sweetest one you can ever read of all of them. But that last book about the character I never liked was such a hard read. It was almost impossible to get through it, because when you don't like a character, you just don't like it. And you know, having to like want to relate to them and then like them and then hate them again, and like that kind of stuff, that really kind of hit home. But I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, so I'm not going too much in detail. But y'all, I read all of these, and these usually took me a day or a day and a half or 2 days to read, and they're pretty chunky reads. But this was such a nice, like, fae, magical kind of romance young adult book. I really do recommend it. I hope there's another book. I'm not sure if there is. I don't know if it's completed, but I know that they just announced that they might have a Hulu series about it. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So this series currently is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, and I've read all of them, and I don't know what to do with my life. Like, what do you do when your book is over? It's like, what do you do when like your favorite series on Netflix is over? Like, you know, you're just like, oh my god, what? So that's me. But those are the books I'm reading. It's the Court of Roses and Thorns series. Love it. Totally recommend it for you guys to watch or read. Not watch, because it hasn't come on Hulu yet, but beautiful. Love it. Next, I want to talk about the Maya Banks book series right here, Rush, Fever, and Burn. Y'all, this is This is like the 50 Shades of Grey series, but in a different, you know, character format. It's all about being like submissive, like the one girl like you fall hard for, like the common girl, that kind of type of romance where like the guy's so rich and powerful and whatever, and then he meets like this ordinary girl that he's like head over heels and does whatever it is. It's like basically 50 Shades of Grey. And I really liked the love story on The Rush. I thought that the book was going to continue their romance like how 50 Shades of Grey did, like where they went from like, you know, meeting and then their relationship failing and then, you know, getting married and that kind of stuff. No, it's not. It's basically the main character is here, and then followed by his best friend, followed by their third best friend. And you're like, I was like, oh, what? Their romance does not continue. It's like the trio of friends gets a book each. And honestly, the first one was my favorite. The second one, I'm not so much because I didn't like it. It was too much for me. And then this one I felt like was too brushed at the end, or it was very repetitive. Like you kind of knew like how the plot was gonna go. Like you knew like, hey, the guy falls in love, there's a complication, you know, like a hardship, and then it gets resolved, that kind of stuff. But if you like the kind of 50 Shades of Grey kind of scenario situation, this was really good. So yeah, that is what that series is. And then I also read another one, and I have that in my iPad, and it is The House of Salt and Sorrow. You guys, I picked this one up because I got it from the library. I used Libby or my Kindle to go ahead and read some of the books. Usually when I have books like on transit that I have not received, I usually go ahead and read it on Libby, just so I can have something to read while like my hardcover books get to me. And y'all, this was like such a cute, like romantic murder mystery, magical kind of young adult book. It's about one of the middle sisters. There's 12 sisters, but they focus on the middle child. And it just talks about a curse that her family has because a lot of them keep dying, and she doesn't believe that most of them were like natural causes. So she goes through, you know, trying to figure out what's causing everything. And then she meets, you know, this man, and then there's also like a childhood friend. And at the end there's like this big old like, oh, what? But this one's like very like sweet and cute. It's just her trying to figure out what is going on with all these deaths that are happening. And when I finished it, I was like, oh, like it wasn't like an ending I kind of wanted, but then like it was like, oh, I really liked it. And then I learned that it was not like a big old series. This was like a standalone one, and I was like, wow, that totally broke me. I was like, I wish there was more to it, just because like these books are like extra complicated, extra long, and they're very romantic. And this one was like very like, oh, super cute. I will say that there was a book that I could not get through in the month of March just because I could not vibe with it, and that was called The Ninth House. This book right here, The Ninth House, I heard so many good things about it. Everyone was like, this is a good book to read, and I don't know if there's more books behind it, but I could not get with the program. I couldn't get with like the college setting. I couldn't get with like the secrecy and the magic and everything. Like these books were straight up front, like this is a magical story, this is fae and immortals and stuff. This one is like, I'm in college, we're with like normal people, but then there's these magical creatures and stuff like that. I don't know, I could not get with the program. I think I hit like chapter 3 or chapter 4, maybe even 5, and I just could not vibe with it, you guys. I could not. I was like, nope. So I didn't even finish reading this book. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know if because it was the setting, or if it's college, or it was just like too much going on in one go, or it was just like too vague at the beginning, but I just couldn't deal with it. It was like one of the books that I just could not read. I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done reading it. However, I do have my lineup for April already. The first book that I'm reading is the book after this series of Rose and Thorns is by Sarah J Maas, super popular right now, and it's called The Crescent City. This is the book that I'm going to currently start reading. And then I have, it's this series right here is a Shadow and Bone series, and I think there's 3 books there, and they are by the same person, Leigh Bardugo, which is the one who wrote Ninth House. So I'm hoping that these books are better. I don't know, but I really did not like Ninth House, but I just bought the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I'm gonna be reading that. And then I also got this series right here, the From Blood and Ash books. This is by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I don't know, I'm really into like the magical romance young adult books, so this one is another one that I'm trying out. I heard really good things about it as well. And I think there are 4 or 3 current books in it. I think one is on pre-order because they'll be coming out pretty soon in the summer or late spring. But yeah, you guys, reading has been a thing for me, and while I wait on my hardcover books, I even got a membership to Barnes & Noble, you guys. Don't ask me why. They just offered it and I was like, yeah, I added in. But really been loving it. And if you guys have any books that you guys would recommend that are kind of magical and romance, send them my way because I will be reading them, or I'll be like checking them out from the library. I didn't think I was gonna like reading on an iPad, but I kind of do, just because it gives me something to do while hardcover books come my way. But yeah, this is what I've been reading, you guys. It is a stack. Like, this is what I've been reading, y'all. I also kind of read like the Disney World, Disneyland kind of politics behind Walt Disney, and that book stressed me out. I remember telling Bae like, y'all, I can't read this book anymore. I think I got halfway through and I was like, rich people and their need to stay in power and just make sure, like, you know, everything is going how they want it stresses me out, because there's so much betrayal between friendships, and there's a lot of like backstabbing and a lot of like movie and production craziness. Like, I would not think that someone that you're friends with for like 30 years can go ahead and just backstab you and just end a friendship like that. And it has taught me so much about like the motion picture scenarios of like how, you know, Disney was, you know, into the cartoon, then into the animation, and then how there's other branches where you thought it was from Disney, but no, they came from Disney creators and they just moved over and made their own companies because of like the bad, like, toxic environment. Y'all, it's nuts. So I try to stay away from nonfiction because, 1, it can be stressful, and 2, it takes a lot out of me to want to keep reading about someone's life. But if you guys have any book recommendations, leave them down below because I'm always interested. I'm super into reading right now. Like I said, I cap my budget at $120 because then I would just go insane buying too many books. So if you have a series or a book that you really love, let me know and I will go ahead and buy it and talk about it later. But that was my March reads. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys check out some of these books. They're really good, especially if you got like some downtime and you're like, you know what, let me escape real quick to something crazy and romantic. They're for you. All right, catch you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is new to me because I never thought I would be sharing what I read, but I really enjoyed it and I wanted to talk about it because I'm into books right now. All right, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.